Because what I do like is that you've bought heavy shields, and heavy shields, in terms of fighting, if you're in a 1v1, if you've got heavy shields, you've got a huge better chance of winning. Obviously, if you miss your shots, you're not going to kill them. But if you've got heavy shields, and if you've got full shields, and someone else doesn't have a shield or have light shields, you're going to have a way significant better chance of killing them. And that's the goal. So I always recommend getting heavy shields. So what you've done there, you've full peek with your whole body. So what I personally would have done there, what you could have done is walled off. So if I'm correct, you had a wall.
Yeah, I think I had my wall ability.
So if you had the wall ability, I would have walled off there, and then it would have delayed them, and also you would have survived, and it would have given you time to heal yourself as well. So here, in terms of your crosshair placement, it's quite good. If you could aim up a little bit more, because
for the head.
For the head height, yeah, because obviously if you're aiming down, so if you're coming around this corner, so what do you want to do? You want to aim. There you go. Right there's quite good, but you kind of want to follow with the curve, like with the wall.
Yeah, I heard someone come through the.
Okay, so what you did
teleporter.
there, you may have got that kill on the teleporter, but doing so, you could have been killed from the side, from middle. So you want to be really careful with exposing yourself there. So overall, you want to try not to get greedy. But I can see, obviously, getting killed is a good thing. But if someone's coming through teleporter, it's better to sit in hooker and just make sure you hold the angle. Because for instance, if you expose yourself in mid, someone's probably going to flank around and kill you. So always make sure, basically, overall, just don't get greedy. And make sure you know the right time to peek.
I don't normally play the Spectra, but shall I save if I don't have enough money for the gun I want to
obviously, if you primarily want to go for Vandal, it's always good to save. So you can always tell your teammates that are saving as well, or they can drop you if they've got enough money. But so if you want to save, you can do. But if you want to actually go for the Vandal, like as many rounds as you can, because that's going to maximize your kills, I'd save and make sure you can get Vandal with full shields. Okay, that was a nice kill right there. That was nice. So with here, you fully expose yourself. So you want to kind of, if you sat in the corner and quick peeked, you could have like quick peeked and then like baited the rocket in instead of just exposing yourself. Because if the rocket's coming in, from raise, it's gonna one shot you. So you want to make sure we're in that situation instead of full peeking, just kind of quick.
When they've got explosives.
When they've got explosives, yeah. So if anything, you could bait them in to shoot it, and then they've lost that ult really. But overall, what I'm seeing, it's not too bad. I think you've got some work to do, but
how's my aim?
Your aim's actually quite good. I'm actually quite surprised, but again with the crosshair placement, you want to make sure with your crosshair you've got it head height when you go around every corner.
I'm used to playing tactical FPS, so I don't know if that helps my aim.
Well, it can help. Obviously, in games there's different recoil, isn't there? So this game is so very similar to CS:GO. So let's say using the Vandal, which is the equivalent to the AK-47 in CS:GO. When you're shooting, you want to drag down because the bloom and the recoil. Well, the recoil, it wants to pull you up. If you pull down, the bloom is going to automatically shoot up a little bit, so it's more likely to hit the head, and especially if you're at long range, more bullets are going to be going towards their direction, which means that more likely to go hit them in the head, and you can headshot them, which will then maximize your kills because you'll be getting more kills because you're going to be doing more damage to people. So overall, if you want to go for the Vandal, I'd recommend you save for the rounds. For instance, this round you should save and get Vandal next round. And I recommend maximizing on, for instance, your C and your Q, because if you have a wall, it's extremely good for delaying. So right there, if you had a wall, you should block off. You want to just block off short A, because if you block that off, they can't get through, and it's going to delay them significantly. They might rotate round to bathroom, but then you've got that covered because your teammates are watching there. So right here, what I do is, I see what you're doing here. Okay, that's good. I'd aim up a little bit because they're higher than you.
Yeah, I am aiming a bit low.
So right there. Do you want to pause it?
Yep.
So what you did then is you didn't follow the crosshair with the curve, so you kind of exposed yourself, and then your crosshair came with it. You want to use your crosshair to curve around the corner. So overall, you're going to maximize the kills, because if they come in line with your crosshair, you can just shoot them instead of them shooting you first, and then you having to bring your crosshair with you, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
So right then, what I would have done if I was playing Sage is get in the wall, because Sage is a team player really, and the overall goal with Sage is to heal your teammates and delay the enemy with your wall and your Q to slow them down. So the Q in your Q in C is extremely important. So you want to make sure you buy that. And you could, if I was correct, you could afford the Vandal, couldn't you? This round.
I think I might have been able to. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just always being aware of how much money you've got, how much
With the
economy you've got.
special, have you got any tips for using it?
With your ult, so with your special, you got to use it in the right moment. So let's say that an enemy just killed your teammate. The enemy's still alive. Let's say the enemy's still alive and your teammate's dead on the floor. In that position, you don't want to res them, because if you res them with your ultimate, they're just going to shoot your teammate while he's being resed. So you don't want to do that. You want to use it in the right situation. So I'd recommend when the other team isn't really around your area and you've got enough time. A lot of it's just a game sense, but it just that comes with experience and playing the game more, really. But I'm glad I can help with everything else, because making you the best player you can be, it's always good. Okay, so I like that you're shifting, because shifting makes you silent to the enemies, so they don't know where you're coming from. So I do like that you're doing that. But again, with your crosshair placement, you don't want to have your crosshair pointed down on the floor. You want it to be head height, because if you shoot at the floor, it's just going to shoot the legs and the feet. So right here, just like that. And aiming.
I need to get used to it.
Yeah, get used to it. Yeah, but yeah, it all comes with practice and experience. But yeah, being aware. So what you've done here is you want to be careful, because you've just exposed yourself from short A. So they can actually, like for instance, they planted B, but because there's 4 of them left, one of them could have flanked round and killed you then. So you want to be aware. Make sure you use your crosshair and you follow that crosshair through short A as you go through the teleporter. We can go into a custom match after this coaching session, and I can always show you and help you with how to defuse properly in a hostile situation. So let's say an enemy is somewhere and they're reasonably close, but they're not in sight of you. What you can do is fake defuse. So if you click 4 on the bomb, on the spike, if you click 4 on the spike, they might push you because they think you're defusing, and then when they push you, they're not going to be ready. So that's when you shoot them and you capitalise on that, and then you can defuse the bomb and you can win the round. That was a nice kill there.
Went for the head.
That was nice. That was a good shot. A good crosshair placement as well. You keep that up.
And I didn't know if to guard the spike or not.
So in this situation, what I would have done, I wouldn't have turned my back then. But yeah, sitting in the corner right now is good. Guarding the spike, and you just know where you are because you're standing still, which is always good. So in this situation, okay, so right there, you don't want to push. You want to sit in the corner. You want to play time basically. And again, having your Q ability is extremely important here, because with the time limit, he's not got long. With this time, he could actually grab the spike and run straight to A with his knife. But you want to use your Q here to slow him down, so he won't actually be able to get the spike. Or if you had a wall, you could wall off the spike. So here, it's always being aware of your sound. So if you can hear him sprinting, you want to make sure you're ready to shoot him. But that was quite a good shot by him, if I'm being honest. He jump shot you. You don't really see that in Valorant, but that was a good round. What I'd do different is not push when you have the spike and play time, because if you push, they could kill you, and then it could be in a 1v1 situation with the teammate, and then they could lose. But if you play time, they can't win, and that round's going to be yours.
Okay.
But overall, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. It's good.
Yeah, it's only my first few games playing Valorant.
Yeah. That was a nice kill. Very nice kill. Headshot. When you're shooting, I recommend you practice. That was another good kill. I recommend you, for instance, close range, you should spray, just like the whole CSGO AK-47 recoil. So you want to spray and you want to drag down, so when you spray, the bloom's going to push those bullets up and it's going to hit them in the head. But so if you're close range and you spray, but you've got good recoil control, you're more likely going to kill someone.
Yeah.
Kill the teammate. than if you're tapping close range. Long range, tapping's great. You should definitely keep that up. But so far, I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing, and you're doing very well. Right there, so that's just being aware. So instead of leaving yourself in the open, and obviously that was a 4v1, you could have played time there. So next time, I recommend you stay in A. Basically, have some of your teammates in B and some of your teammates in A. But it's always good to have comms as well, so you know where everyone or your teammates are. And overall, just being structured. So do you play in a 5-man or a 4-man? Do you play with teammates or do you play solo queue?
If I know people that are on the game, I try and play with them. But sometimes I do solo queue.
Okay, that's good. Obviously, having teammates, comms is significantly easier through Discord or TeamSpeak. So in terms of communication, it's top notch. You find there. Solo queuing is 100% harder because obviously you're going to be playing against teams of 5, potentially teams of 5, and you could be solo queuing with some random people you don't know. So comms might not be there. So in this situation, what I would have done. So if I hear you've pushed, as you're defending, there is really no need to push in this situation. But I can see you maybe potentially going through a flank through showers. Okay, so we're going attacking spawn. So in this situation, I would shift here, and I would run. You could run with your knife, and that's faster. But I would have shift because as you can see, they're middle, right here.
Yeah, they just planted.
They're hooker. So you want to shift here, so they don't know where you're coming from. But you want to shift much earlier than you did. That was a nice kill. But again, with the whole spraying thing, you want to make sure you spray close range. But that comes with the practicing experience, having recoil control. So that position, that was quite a nice res. It is arguably not needed, but it's always nice to be safe. So that's a good point actually. You need to be smart when to use your res. So for instance, let's say you're losing 4-2. You could use it. Let's say in that round there's 4 of you alive and there's 2 of them alive. Because it's 4-2 to them, it's not a game-winning difference. And if it's a 4v2, I would personally recommend saving your ultimate for the next round.
Oh, okay.
So saving your ultimate for the next round, let's say that you're in a situation where it's a 2v2, you can then make it a 3v2 by using your ultimate instead of potentially wasting it on the last round and having a 5-man against 2 people.
I should also wait that there's not 10 seconds left in the round when using it.
Yeah, so obviously it all comes down to when you want to use it, but overall, I think for you to improve your Sage, you should focus on when to use your ultimate and when to not use your ultimate. But yeah, when there's 10 seconds left, it's probably not great to use it because it's kind of a waste of an ultimate because it could be used for a different round where you actually need it in more of a want. So it's more like there's rounds where it could be a necessity, so you need it. Because if it's going to be if it's a 4v1, you don't want to use it unless it's some absolute god player on the team and he's been smoking your whole team all game. You want to be safe and have a 5th man and use your ultimate. But overall, just be smart with